Okay, we're going to be changing our needle on the Juki straight stitch machine. First thing, you want to make sure that your machine is off. That is a bad place to have your fingers if your machine is still in the on position. Okay, so before you change your old needle, for whatever reason, so you might need to change your needle because you broke your needle, or sometimes you need to change the type of needle you're using for different fabrics. And sometimes needles just get dull, and if you see things, if it's not stitching quite right, or it's snagging your fabric, it might be time to change your needle. So the two kinds I have right now in the shop, we have a stretch needle and a regular needle. So you want to make sure that if you are using a regular woven fabric that is not stretchy, just to use a regular needle. Okay, if you are using a stretch fabric, then of course you're going to need the stretch needle. They are built a little differently to handle different types of fabric. In this case, I'm going to simply change this needle to just a regular needle again. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is take out your old needle. Now you want to make sure when you're taking out your old needle that you have a small screwdriver, which this is, to get to this little screw right here. Okay, so right now it's in the tighten position, so you're going to loosen that first. You don't want to remove it. It's very hard to get back in, and it's really not necessary to take it all the way out. So just loosen it a little bit. Okay, take that needle out just by pulling it straight down and out. Okay, you do want your foot to be in the lower position as well, so I have it, I use the manual lift right here to put it down. Okay, it's just easier. You can do it while it's up too. It's just easier to have it in the down position. Okay, so then this is my old needle. So I want to make sure I'm not putting the same needle back in. Now obviously if it's broken, it's pretty easy to find out. So I'm going to take a new needle from the package. And there's two parts to the needle that you need to be aware of. Okay, so I'm not sure you're going to be able to see this on the camera. Okay, one part is you can see that little kind of indentation right there on the side there. And the other part is just opposite indentation, which you're probably not going to be able to see as well, is there's a groove in the needle going from the eye of the needle straight up to the top of the needle. Okay, right here, I'm running my fingernail in it. That groove has to be pointing to the left. If it's not pointing to the left when you put this in your machine is going to do one of two things. It's going to keep unthreading, or it's not going to sew correctly at all. Okay, so making sure that that groove is to the left, and I have this little indentation to the right. So there's two ways to remember that. Groove to the left. I'm going to simply put it straight up into the hole where the other needle was. And if for some reason it shifted, okay, a little bit, like it ended up like that, you can see my eye right there in the front. That's not where it should be. Okay, I'm going to kind of just twirl it back to where it should be. Make sure that my groove is still right there. Okay, and I want to make sure that I have it all the way in and kind of held to the top as high as it can go. Okay, and then I'm simply going to tighten my screw again and make sure it's really in there tight, because if it's not, it's going to fall out while you sew. Okay, and then obviously all you have to do is rethread your needle and you are good to go. That is changing a needle.